Test, test, test. Got you. Okay. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to our 2022-2023 academic year kindergarten orientation. I am Brian Edmonds, the administrator, on behalf of Pastor Lacombe, who's the director of the school. We want to welcome you. Believe me, if I sound a little jumpy, or if I sound a little loud, even though I got the microphone up here, I'm just so excited. All right, I have missed all of the kids, the ones that are returning. I'm looking forward to the ones that are new to the school, and it has been quiet in the hallways, and I've really missed that a lot. Some of the teachers, we were talking about it earlier today, that summer was fine, but this is what we do. So when we can't do it, it is definitely something that we miss. So we definitely want to welcome you all here. We're looking forward to seeing the kids bright and early Monday morning. Many of them might not be so excited like we are, but we'll be standing out there tall. Can't wait to see them. Okay. All right. All right, well, while we're waiting on that, all right, just one thing I want to bring up, something that we are in the process of working, in the process of installing. At some point during the early part of this year, those who've been at school before and returning know that that front entrance is something that you can just always walk into, especially if you want to see someone at the front desk, or you need to come pick up your child, or you need to see Mr. Williams, who's the finance officer. We are in the process. We've just identified the security company that we want to use and just started acquiring the locks and the entry and the electronics to actually close that front door permanently. So it means you will have to be let in. You'll have to be identified first and then let in. It was the only door over the past several years that have been open during school anyway. The back doors that were closed, we're going to install sensors on those just so we can know if for some reason that door is open for no apparent reason, because it's normally not used. All right, but this door up here will be closed eventually, and you'll have to gain access through camera, identify yourself, and then we'll let you in. I want to say I was joking with the pastor. I'm getting ready to be 55 years old in about 3 weeks. I remember in school, we used to hide under the desk or have to have drills where we got under the desk because a missile, possibly from Russia, was coming. All right. We don't even talk about that anymore. Now we're doing drills for active shooter. It's a shame, but individuals have identified these institutions as soft spots to do the evil that they would like to do, and so we just need to take the necessary precautions. I will say it's not cheap, so we will ask for any donations that you will be willing to impart on the school to help defray some of the costs, but it is definitely well worth it for our children who we're so blessed to have the opportunity to educate and also to protect our faculty and staff. So next slide. Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That is a charge that we take seriously. That is a charge that God has given you also. While we're here, all of our teachers know that they have a ministry in their classroom, and they are dedicated, they're saved, and they look forward to imparting the knowledge of the Bible to your kids to help give them a basis to grow upon, to help learn responsibility, accountability. So whenever they depart from these walls here, they can make good, sound decisions and also be good citizens and represent you as well. So it's a partnership, it's a team, but it's definitely something that we take very seriously. Next slide. So our kindergarten department, we have made a slight change. We used to have 3 K-3 classes, 2 K-3 classes, 2 K-4, 2 K-5. The way registration went this year, K-5 really took off. So not that we have a lot of room to expand classroom-wise. We made a decision to address that kind of like in a zero-sum game, gain 1 additional K-5 class and reduce a K-3 class. So we have 1 K-3 class this year, 2 K-4 classes, and 3 K-5 classes. And I'll introduce that faculty right now. So K-3, our 1 K-3 teacher is returning, Mrs. Hosmer. She is in her 2nd year. And her aide is here as well, so great continuity. So if they just please stand. All right, so that's our K-3. Next slide. Next slide. K-4, also a returning teacher, Ms. Nieves, and her aide, Ms. Enderley, was in a different part of the school last year. She has kids that are in the school, have been in the school for a little while. So she knows the curriculum. She knows the way that we expect our students to act. She's going to be a great addition to our kindergarten department. Ms. Nieves, if you don't know, she is an alumnus of OCS, which we love to be able to have prior alumni come back and teach. They know the culture here, and it's easier for them to impart that on your students. If I could have Mrs. Oliver, Mrs. Nieves, and Ms. Enderley, please stand. So, as you can see, Ms. Nieves is expecting like 30 days. You all can have a seat. Raise your hand, Ms. Oliver. All right. So Ms. Oliver is going to be Ms. Nieves' substitute when she goes on maternity leave. We thought it was great that you would be able to see her now. It's great we were able to identify her ahead of time, and she was our 1st grade teacher last year. So she knows what's expected in Oderden Christian School, and she's really looking forward to actually going back down, I guess, to that age level in teaching, because she used to do that for a couple of years before she came to OCS. Next slide. Our K-4 teacher, Mrs. Gabrielle Lee, and her aide, Mrs. Karina Janae. All right, could you please stand? Thank you. So, Mrs. Lee, she's also an alumnus of Oderden Christian School, graduate. She also happens to be the sister of Ms. Nieves. They have a long history with Oderden Christian School because their mother used to be a teacher here for quite some time. All right, so we're definitely fortunate to have them. Classes are right beside each other, and Mrs. Lee used to be an aide last year. She also got great opportunity. She was kind of in high demand to be a substitute at times that we needed her last year. So we're very fortunate that she would step up and be a K-4 teacher. Next slide. K-5. K-5 is no stranger to Oderden Christian School. Mrs. Dixon taught, was it one of my kids? I think it was one of my kids, all right? Not the other one, okay? But I did have, me and my wife, we did have a boy and a girl come through here for a little while. And Mrs. Dixon was the teacher of our son, I believe it was. Mrs. Dixon is also a returning teacher. She is the coordinator of the kindergarten department and has a lot of ideas. Her experience with teaching is going to go far in mentoring the kindergarten department staff and creating a wonderful work environment for you all. And her aide, Mrs. West, was actually an aide for both of our and my wife's kids here. If you could please stand. All right, we just keep the experience going. Ms. Janae Williams, she was a K-5 teacher. Now this will be her third year teaching K-5. And she also has a year teaching K-4. But she's returning, and her aide is Mrs. Stitt, who's new to OCS. You please stand. So if those who are returning might have seen that we're in K4 last year, probably seen Mrs. Williams as well as Mrs. Dixon. So now one of your child may be in at least one of their classes. So be excited because they're in for a great learning experience. Next slide. So one of our K3 teacher last year, Mrs. Miller, has now been elevated to that other K5 class that we have. She has a great amount of experience teaching here at Oden Christian School. Her kids also go to Oden Christian School. We're looking forward to all the things that she will bring to the K5 level. And I think those three there, we have a great team getting the kids ready for elementary school for next year. So if she could please stand. And her aide, Mrs. West. Her aide will be Mrs. West temporarily until we get one more aide for that department. But the classes are right side by side, so Mrs. West can go with doors that are right there. So we're very happy to have a very experienced, very compassionate, Christ-driven kindergarten staff. And we look forward to all the things that they're going to bring this year and create learning opportunities for your children. All right, thank you. You all can go ahead and dismiss. All right. Next slide. Okay, so here's the administrative and support staff that were here at the school to support our staff and support our staff and faculty, as well as school secretary, which everyone knows, Mrs. Reagan. She's been here, I think, for 6 years now. All right. Mrs. Connie Lacombe, who's Pastor Lacombe's wife. She's also serves as the church secretary and helps out on the school staff as well. We have a new receptionist, Mrs. Kernigan. If you see, or if you've been by the new school store that we have now, that idea and the whole concept and design and how everything is placed in there is Mrs. Kernigan. She took that task on. You thought we're in a military community not far from here. She took that on just like you giving her a mission, and she went forward, and it looks very nice. Mr. Williams, I'm pretty sure everyone here knows Mr. Williams. He's our finance officer. Mr. Lou Teskey is handling our facilities management right now. And then, of course, you have myself and then Pastor Lacombe. Next slide. Extended care. The extended care coordinator is Mr. Miller. He's new to our staff. He soon will be separating from the Army. He is also coordinating the extended care, AM and PM care, and he'll teach as well up in the secondary. Extended care hours, 6 to 7:30 and 3:15 to 6 p.m. Drop off and pick up is in the same location, the back. If you look at the back parking lot, it's where the big awning is. That's where you drop off and pick up for extended care. So what you can expect from OCS. Enlighten, educate, and mentor. So all our staff here, everyone we hire here, we do a thorough vetting, we do a thorough interview to ensure that they have a Christ-centered personality, Christ-centered character, that they are saved, that they believe in Jesus just like we do here, so they can impart a consistent message to your children. Our classes are small. Our classes are small for a reason. One, all right, if they were big, we'd be just like the public schools, okay? Two, small classes, we believe, kind of cut down the shyness barrier so your kids won't feel apprehensive about participating in class and offering their opinions, okay? That's how they help build their personalities. As well as, if you can look at this auditorium here, we are a very diverse school, which is what we love here. All right, there's something, and that's something that we preach every day. It's something I definitely talk to students and classes about. There's something to be learned from everyone. All right, one of the greatest opportunities in an environment like this is to learn from everyone, to learn, likes, dislikes, cultures here, because we don't have a monolithic society outside these walls. We all have to learn how to communicate, but more importantly, listen to each other and respect each other. So something that we preach here, that's something that we instill in our students here. So when they leave these walls, you can trust that they will represent you well, and we know they'll represent the school well. All right, and then also a smaller class allows the teachers to have more one-on-one time with those students, mentor them to find out their likes and their dislikes, and kind of help open up their eyes to different things they might want to experience when it comes to pathways when they get older. Our expectations of our students. Academic standards, all right? Participate in class, okay? We have K-3 students, which of course this is going to be their first time in the school environment, all right? And this is not a daycare. This is, believe me, they will find out this is not a daycare. We have K-4 students who might have been K-3 students last year, or they're just starting out in some type of kindergarten environment, as well as K-4 students who graduated or been promoted to be actual kindergarten students. Key thing about that is they have to learn how to be a student at that level, all right? And that learning requires discipline. It requires participation in class, all right? And so our teachers will approach them in that way, all right? We have a regiment. We have a regimented class schedule and day. There's certain ways to walk down the hall. There's certain ways to sit in class. There's certain way to participate in class, raising hands. So we're pretty sure that some students who are new here are not familiar with that, and our teachers know that. All right, they will spend the time to teach the children, to have them practice that, reinforce that. So they can be successful here at Oda Christian School. And uniform standards, so that'll help to establish some discipline. Our expectations of our parents. Pick up and drop off on time. I probably need to say that about 10 times. Pick up and drop off, all right? Students arriving down at the kindergarten level, all right? After 9:30, cannot attend class, all right? Understand, this is not a daycare. So in the morning time, between 8 and 9:30, they get the bulk of their academics, all right? You only have about 4 or 5 more minutes after that before they start getting ready for lunch break, a recess period, and then nap time. So they pretty much miss the morning if they come after 9:30. So in addition to that, all right, a teacher has attention in her class with their students. If someone comes in late, now that attention is not on the teacher, all right? All eyes on one teacher and a student comes in late, now all eyes are on that student. The teacher doesn't have control of that class, doesn't have attention in that class. That's why we need everyone dropped off on time. Please, please, please. We have, I'll get to it in a second, we've adjusted the traffic pattern out there to help smooth the drop off, so please just arrive on time. Please appropriately, okay? There's a dress code that we have here for our staff and faculty. There's a dress that we require of our students, okay? We don't want students to come here and, their teachers are dressed in a modest way, okay? And then they see things that are kind of dressed of the world, and then they come home and they say, hey, Mom, Dad, guess what I saw today, all right? And it's something that you may be trying to train your kid to visual purity, and we're trying to do that here as well. And then all of a sudden, they have that to bring home. So we ask you just dress appropriately when you're coming up here to either drop off your kids or pick up your kids. All right. And also drive slowly, please. Kindergarten parks in the front of the school. Okay. We will have people in the parking lot helping out on the crossing. All right. But please, no more than 10 miles an hour, and because the way that the parking is, you will have kids with their parents bringing them, from in between cars, so we don't want anyone to get hit. We do not want any cars to hit each other's cars, okay? That's just extra time that you have, or that you will lose going, getting ready to go to work, because you have to deal with an accident. Excellent. And please cooperate, all right? When in school we try to tell the the student, there's no mom and dad, let me go ask this, I don't get the right answer, let me go ask over here, all right? So we prefer that to be the same case when it comes to us working together with you, all right? Our teachers are compassionate. Our teachers know that they have to teach your students how to be a certain way in their classrooms, okay? They do not really have the time to develop an agenda overnight. When they wake up in the morning, how can I get Tommy? All right, okay? Truth be told, when I was growing up, and I already told you my age, if I had to bring home a behavior slip that said Brian was talking in class, my dad would read it, and he never said what happened. The teacher already said what happened. That's all he needed to hear, all right? So obviously, now I'm interrupting class, so I'm not learning, okay? The other students whose parents are paying tuition, they're not learning, okay? And we have a responsibility to ensure that we train our kids and work together so they know that, hey, I can just tell mom and dad anything when they go home, then mom will get on the teacher and that type of thing, all right? Our teachers are told and they're tasked to make sure that they communicate with you all, okay? Not just on the bad, all right? Communicate with the good, all right? Tommy's doing well in this. This is a strong point in this. Please keep reinforcing this at home. Tommy needs a little bit more work in this. Please assist with this. This is what we're trying to do in classroom. Please practice that. All right, so if we can build a team there, I guarantee you we'll have a successful kindergartner, whether matriculating from K3 to K4, K4 to K5, or K5 to be a first grader. Educating during COVID. Yes, it's still here. I assume it's probably not going to go anywhere, at least not anytime soon. All right? We are mask optional. Okay? We are mask optional. Please let your students know that if they see a kid in their class with a mask, it's okay. All right? If they see a kid in class without a mask, it's okay. That's the meaning of mask optional. All right? I'll just inform you that if you send your kid to school with the mask, we're going to make sure that he keep that mask on and wearing it properly. All right? because we figure that's what you intended him to do. So while he's there for that day and he has a mask on, he walks in class, he's gonna have to wear that mask all day. All right? We don't want him taking it off because that might be what you want him to do, so we're gonna make sure that he keeps it on. All right? But it's totally exceptional whether your student wears a mask or not wear a mask to school. All right? With mask optional. All right? Please be patient with us, okay? This area has done a great job in vaccinations and up on those things, okay? Over the last 2 years, I tell you, we have had, I think last year it was 11 COVID cases, which is pretty good for 170 days of school. The year prior to that, when COVID was really bad, we only had like 6, all right? And the reason why our doors were able to stay open is because of you. All right? It's because of you. We talk about it all the time that, you know, the precautions that you all only is a symbol of consideration that you have for others. All right? If you think your kid is feeling a little sick, you're keeping them home so it won't be spread. All right? Or, you know, if you think that they have a cold and it might wind up being a cold, but you think it could be COVID, you're keeping them home. All right, just notify the school. We greatly appreciate it. If it turns out to be something where they do have COVID and they're going to be out for a couple of days, we can always prepare a curriculum packet for them to work on once they feel better. All right, nothing for you to push on them until they feel better. Okay? All right, I put this up here, traffic pattern, okay? So if you're looking there, you see the big parking lot at the bottom is Piney Orchard Parkway. There's one way to enter into our parking lot. That is over near the sign that we have here, okay? And you come up and you can use either the first left or the second left before the school to turn into park, okay? There is an area that's in the yellow right here. It says driveway, do not drive up. It's that driveway right on the side of the school here. Please do not drive up there to drop your kids off at the door for the elementary school entrance, where you can say K drop off and pick up, okay? You cannot drive up there, all right? You'll actually park in the parking lot and walk your child up there. Now, we've contacted Anne Arundel County Police, and I spoke to one of the lieutenants there about trying to get a officer assigned here to help out in the morning time, all right, and to help out in the afternoon time. So Anne Arundel County does not have enough officers to assign to every school, and we're not the only school here. We understand that, all right. We're not the only school that requires a possible crossing guard or at least someone to help with traffic. We understand that. Okay, there's not enough of those either, crossing guards at the public schools. Okay, what they advised us to do, okay, and what we're going to do, all right, is where it says parking lot exit, right over here to the right, all right, almost basically in front of the double doors here. There's a right turn and a left turn you can make to exit our parking lot. They recommended, and we're going to take that recommendation to get rid of left turn from 7:30 in the morning to 8:30 in the morning, from 2:45 in the afternoon to 3:45 in the afternoon. Okay, you cannot be cones up there. You cannot make a left turn from there. You'll have to make a right turn and go down the street, either do a U-turn or just drive around. Sorry, but there have been at least 4 accidents last year. Going out of here, I've taken phone calls from neighbors of the school saying that, hey, you know, it's an accident waiting to happen, and yeah, a couple of accidents have already happened, all right? And to be honest, coming down there, people are going to work, they're not considerate. So we're gonna close off making that left turn out of this parking lot here, and you'll have to make a right. What that will do as well, it shouldn't create any backup lines. So you can just freely exit the parking lot much quicker as space is available for you to exit. All right, so that means pickup and drop off should definitely go a lot quicker. okay? So please work with us with that. If there ever becomes an opportunity where we can maybe get a police officer in an overtime status, we will definitely hire and pay for that, all right? But until that time, there will be no left turns made out of the parking lot during those particular hours, all right? After that, the cones will be picked up, and it's fine. If you have to visit the school and do something and leave out, yes, you can left-hand turn, okay? So please work with us with that. We really don't want to see any more accidents, okay? I know people get busy. People seem to always be in a rush down here on Pioneer Orchard Parkway, but please work with that. Work with us in that, all right? Okay, so that ends my little part here. Outside to the right as you exit are the class rosters that are up. I am so excited for Monday to come, to see our students, to hear the little noise, the chatter, to see them actually participate in class and walk down the hall. My son, our oldest child, started in K4. When he was in K4, our daughter was in the nursery, all right? Son graduated college in 2017, daughter just graduated in May. And they got their foundation from here. And it has taken them all the way thus far with them setting goals, with them being able to differentiate themselves from people who are not going on the path, all right? For them able to discern what is right from wrong and exhibit good Christian character in the face of non-Christian character. All right, and as a parent, believe me, that's all I can ask for. I think me and my wife are accomplishing our job, and of course, we still have questions that they give us, because that means that they still have wisdom. But they got their start here. Time management, learning how to set goals, and thankfully enough, and wishfully enough, and prayerfully enough, we hope that your kids will be here long enough to learn those things and be able to go and be productive citizens and serve the Lord. All right. So with that, I'd like to thank you. And that ends the orientation. As far as my part, now you can go and see where your classrooms will be.